but it's good left on this tired old city.
From the Gaslight at the entrance to the Hill in good old St. Louis, yours truly, Curt Copeland, alongside Dana Anderson. Great performance here on the Loft Sessions. Now, as you can see, he has himself an adult beverage. And that adult beverage is because the vocal cords have been barking at you a little bit past 24 hours.
Oh, they're shot, yeah.
You had a gig last night before doing the Loft Sessions here today.
Actually, it's been a month of this. I've had some serious trouble with it, yeah. So
You seen a doctor?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just I need time off, and no big deal.
I work in radio, and I had what they call false vocal cords, where you're using more of your vocal cord area to amplify your voice. Football coaches and drill sergeants get this a lot, barking orders and things like that. So I hope that's not what you're dealing with.
I think it's a perfect storm of one weekend where I was playing 2 4-hour gigs, drinking and smoking, and it all just collapsed on itself. So I think I'll be fine.
A little bit of a family connection here, as your brother is the owner and operator of this phenomenal facility, the Gaslight, that we're doing the Loft Sessions. Talk about your relationship with your brother and how you're involved with this whole thing coming together.
Well, it was, how long ago was it? Back when he was a bartender, which was a long time ago because he's worn a lot of different hats since then. He had brought up one night late in Chicago. He was working at Kitty O'Shea's. When he got done, we went to a local mob-owned bar, like packaged liquor place.
You're kidding, these places exist in Chicago?
Yeah, totally, with bullet holes in the ceiling. And he had told me his dream of opening a bar where there's a studio in the bar, and I gave him every reason why he shouldn't. Like the idea that a live show is connection, like people go to get sweated on by the band, to be right there front row, to touch them, whatever. And then a studio is isolation, it's separation, it's walls between everything. And I was like, and you want to put both of those together? That's crazy, it's not gonna work. And then technology changed and the times went on, and he was persistent. And he wanted to find a way to make it work, to meet isolation and connection all in one place, and you get the Gaslight.
You're sitting here, you talk about this isolation, and when there's a window, as we look out, it's a window, as you would imagine in a studio. Before you started your performance, we were told, hey, he's dealing with some vocal cord things, so we're not sure, how many songs he's gonna do here. And we're all out there in the audience, out there in the bar area, enjoying the performance. And we all kind of we're like looking at each other, and we all commented, and we're like, geez, if this guy's less than 100%, I'd like to hear what 100% sounds like, because, man, you were sounding great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And in fact, and I think a lot of singers will agree with me on this, a little something can actually add a little something.
There's a line, there's a fine line. And right now, like if I was to play a normal 4-hour gig like I wouldn't be able to do 90% of my songs. I picked the songs today that I figured I could get away with. And there's a stylized. I told them earlier, Pete Somerville played with me on mandolin on the Mark Knopfler song, but I said I should just do a John Prine set. And because he always has that, like, I'm about to lose my voice. And I thought, we could do that. And I was like, no, I need to do some originals. So yeah, it's definitely that. There's a fine line. It limits your song choices when your voice goes to crap. But I've got a pretty good pool to choose from, so.
Where are you at now musically, and where are you headed?
I'm making a record. Actually, we're in the mixing process. I'm making a record with Miles Vanderveer and Zeb Briskovich. Those two guys run the SIU.
Those last names, just give those last names again.
Miles Vanderveer and Zeb Briskovich.
I mean, those are awesome names.
Yeah, they're
you
great.
Want to be working with those guys no matter what they're doing.
They're amazing musicians. Zeb's a bass player, Miles is a drummer, and Miles is engineering and recording the record, and Zeb's basically producing it. And this is a huge amalgamation of St. Louis players on this. I've got some horns from the Funky Butt Brass Band. I've got Pete Somerville from Old Souls playing guitar and mandolin on it. I've got Matt from Cluster Pluck playing fiddle on it. I've got Matt McGibney from the St. Louis School of Folk playing fiddle on it.
It's some kind of all-star thing going on here.
I got everybody I could.
Gosh.
John Higgins on pedal steel. I called in all my favors.
Yeah.
Basically, and so did they. Like Zeb and Miles have been a huge part of making this record. And it's been a slow process. I was out of the country for a couple months. I went to Costa Rica to chill out and get away from everything.
Yeah.
And they've been with me, taking our time and building this record that we're really proud of. We can't wait to get out and in front of people because it's got so many good people on it. Like we literally, like I said, called in all our favors.
So although you are well traveled and you definitely make the rounds and you've spent time in other places, St. Louis is still home?
St. Louis is home. I'm originally from Granite City, Illinois, right across the river.
That's our area.
And
That's our area.
and so St. Louis is home as far as when I travel.
Yeah.
It's much easier just to say I'm from St. Louis.
Of course, and that's fine, because that's how you represent us. Tell the thing what you said about Tweety in Chicago.
Oh yeah, I remember whenever Tweety started being
that
known
flag.
as a local Chicago boy, and all my friends that are hardcore alt country fans, like were there from the beginning with Tupelo, were like, no, he's not. He's from Belleville, Illinois. And I was like, when he was from Belleville, he said he was from St. Louis.
Yeah.
And it's just you can't fight it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can only explain so much. Like you have to just pick your battles, and that's not one worth fighting. I'm St. Louis. So.
We're glad. We think you represent St. Louis very well, and it's an honor to have you on the Loft Sessions.
Well, thank you, and thank you for inviting me to do this.
In a great spot, too, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
JV, man. Thanks for having us here. It's a lot of fun.